Welcome back to the Bears Baseball Network award show, and we've got a ton of different awards to talk about on this one, and we're going to get things started with our Bear All Rookies. These are the best rookies in the Bears organization from the last season that we just had. So let's go ahead and get it started with Diego Buccio, the first member of the All Rookie team.
Next one's 11U shortstop CC Garcia.
12U outfielder Mason Gebhart.
12U infielder Dylan Graham.
12U utility player Mason Geddes.
12U outfielder Aaron Knoll.
12U infielder Jacob Mon.
12U catcher Luke Driscoll.
13U center fielder Andrew Willeret.
13U third baseman Ben Combs.
14U outfielder Caleb Barreza.
14U infielder Brody Reddinghouse.
14U third baseman Santiago Story.
14U outfielder Evan Osbun.
14U outfielder Sam Dollins.
15U infielder Caleb Kalmizi.
And 16U outfielder Sam Wortham. And now the pitchers for our all-rookie team, starting with 11U pitcher ZZ Garcia.
11U pitcher Nate Skrinta Pipkin.
11U pitcher Lane Mabry.
12U pitcher Jacob Mon.
13U pitcher Andrew Willeret.
13U pitcher Lucas Velchek.
14U pitcher Cameron Latsky.
14U pitcher Santiago Story.
14U pitcher Evan Osbun.
14U pitcher Brody Kavetin.
And 16U pitcher Sam Wortham. Those are our Bears All-Rookie team. Let's move on to our first team, Bear All-Americans. This is the top team in the Bears from the Spring-Summer 2022 season. Getting it started is 11U Floyd center fielder Brendan Bast.
11U Floyd outfielder Jordan Waring.
12U Floyd third baseman Parker Ells.
12U Floyd infielder Landon Meyer.
12U Floyd catcher Logan Meyer.
13U Floyd center fielder Andrew Willeret.
13U Floyd shortstop Nayo Guzman.
13U Floyd third baseman Ben Combs.
14U Dalton first baseman Vince Dalton.
14U shortstop from Dalton Tegan Kreitler.
14U Dalton third baseman Landon Nickerson.
14U Dalton catcher Jack Roberts.
14U Dalton infielder Jack Dalton.
16U Floyd shortstop Lucas Levy.
16U Floyd third baseman Brennan Nickerson.
16U Floyd center fielder Mac Floyd.
18U Floyd catcher Sam Weiss.
18U Floyd outfielder Will Mason.
18U Floyd outfielder Mateo Grassi.
And 18U Floyd first baseman Ian Lancaster.
Now for the pitchers.
11U Floyd pitcher Jaden Hyland.
12U Floyd pitcher Evan Lancaster.
12U Floyd pitcher Landon Meyer.
14U Dalton pitcher Santiago Story.
14U Dalton pitcher Evan Osbun.
14U Dalton pitcher Tegan Kreitler.
14U Dalton pitcher Elijah Underwood.
15U Burnsville pitcher Alex Hobson.
16U Floyd pitcher Lucas Levy.
16U Floyd pitcher Reese Payne.
16U Floyd pitcher Elliot Myers.
And 18U Floyd pitcher Jack Bussin. Now moving on to our second team, Bear All-Americans, starting with 11U Floyd infielder ZZ Garcia.
11U Floyd catcher Judd Levy.
12U Bell infielder Max Brodeur.
12U Bell's utility player Luke Warren.
12U Bell catcher Caleb Jamalva.
12U Bell first baseman Lucas Wilburn.
12U Bell utility player Mason Geddes.
12U Floyd second baseman Jacob Mon.
12U Floyd catcher Quinn Steinbeck.
13U Floyd catcher Ivan Saxon.
13U Floyd second baseman Logan Eckert.
14U Williams outfielder Caleb Barizia.
14U Driscoll outfielder Jackson Weiss.
14U Dalton outfielder Jackson Dormeyer.
14U Dalton catcher Ty Zazueta.
15U Burnsville infielder Caleb Kalmizi.
15U Burnsville outfielder Fred Smith.
50U Russell shortstop Alex Hobson.
50U Burnsville third baseman Wyatt Groupie.
16U Floyd catcher Chase Ecker.
Another 16U Floyd catcher Reese Payne.
16U Floyd first baseman Elliot Myers.
18U Floyd shortstop Eddie Hoganmiller.
18U Floyd second baseman Nathan Driscoll.
And 18U Floyd second baseman Jackson Bell. Now on to our second team All-American pitchers.
11U Floyd's pitcher Jordan Waring.
12U Floyd pitcher Quinn Steinbeck.
13U Floyd pitcher Andrew Willeret.
13U Floyd pitcher Alex Ruppel.
14U Driscoll pitcher Zach Rohr.
14U Dalton pitcher Brody Kavetin.
15U Burnsville pitcher Oliver Saxon.
16U Smith pitcher Cole Jones.
16U Floyd pitcher Sam Wortham.
16U Floyd pitcher Andrew Engelken.
18U Floyd pitcher Mateo Grassi.
And 18U Floyd pitcher Adam Smith. That makes up our first team, second team, and all rookie teams from the spring 2022 season. These are the top tier players in the Bears, so congratulations to all of those names, a ton of them. Now we move into our individual awards, starting with the Most Improved Player Award. This is probably my favorite award on the entire thing because this goes to a player who really fits the Bear mentality, who's gotten to the gym, gotten into practice, put their head down, and just worked hard to really improve themselves from last year to this year. So third place for the Most Improved Player Award is Dominic Palucci from 12U Kreitler.
Coming in second place, 16U Floyd's very own Chase Acker.
And the winner of the Most Improved Player Award is going to be 14U Dalton pitcher Elijah Underwood. This is a guy who really was, a guy who you could always see the skills in. You could see the arm talent. You could see the run on his fastball. But could he ever put it all together? Because last year he really had trouble finding the strike zone. And this year for 14U Dalton, he was locked in. Probably the best pitcher in the entire organization in June and July. An absolutely fantastic season for him. Moving on, we have our Youth Platinum Glove Award. This obviously goes to the best defensive player of our Youth Bears.
In fifth place, 13U Floyd's Eric Latrenia.
In fourth place, 11U Floyd's second baseman Cam Bernstein.
Third place will be 12U Floyd's catcher/utility player Quinn Steinbeck.
In second place, maybe the most exciting fielder in the Bears, it's outfielder for 14U Dalton, Ben Lillard.
And winning and coming in first place in the Youth Platinum Glove Award will be from 12U Floyd. Will be Landon Meyer. I think especially later in the year, Landon really dominated at third base. He even plays a little bit short. And he was just amazing in both of those positions.
Yeah, 12U Floyd might have been the best defensive team in the Bears, and Landon Meyer was their best defensive player. Let's move on to our High School Platinum Glove Award. Once again, this goes to the best defender at the high school level.
Third place will be 16U Floyd's Carter Arens.
In second place is 50U Burnsville center fielder Fred Smith.
And the High School Platinum Glove Award winner will be from 16U Floyd, the best center fielder in the Bears. It'll be Mac Floyd. I mean, the reads this kid gets on the ball are insane. His arm's insane. His arm accuracy is insane. I mean, just everything about him. He's the best defender, I think, in high school, just period. Maybe even in all of the Bears.
Yeah, an incredible season defensively for Mac Floyd. Moving on to our Rookie of the Year award. In fifth place, this is obviously the best rookie, anybody who's in their first year with the Bears. In fifth place is 14U Dalton's Evan Osborne.
Fourth place will be 12U Floyd's Jacob Mann.
In third place, our former number one prospect in the Bears, ZZ Garcia.
Second place, 14U Dalton's Jack Roberts.
And winning the award, nobody could have guessed it, Andrew Willerette, another monster season for him. He picked right up on his fall 2021 season where he was just amazing, and he was one of the top players in the Bears, much less top rookies. But I will say Jack Roberts gave Andrew Willerette a run for his money. Jack Roberts may have been the best hitter, period, in the Bears over the last month or so. He was incredible. But let's move right along to our Youth Cy Young Award. This goes to the best pitcher in the Youth Bears.
Fifth place will be our most improved player, Elijah Underwood.
In fourth place, 14U Dalton, Santiago Story.
Third place will be 11U Floyd's Jaden Hyland.
In second place is 14U Dalton's Evan Osborne.
And winning the Youth Cy Young Award from 12U Floyd, it's going to be Evan Lancaster. He threw 52 and a third innings, which was first in all of Bears. He had 62 strikeouts, which was first in the Bears, a 2.6 FIP, and led his team in ERA. I mean, this kid, his curveball's filthy. He was disgusting. He's a 12U pitcher with a nasty curveball, so therefore he is Cy Young.
Yeah, an absolutely crazy season for him. I do want to mention his 62 strikeouts is first in the Bears, but of all varsity pitchers, nobody else in the Bears had more than 50, and Evan Lancaster had 62 of all varsity pitchers, so a very, very incredible season for him. Fantastic job for Evan Lancaster. Moving on to our High School Cy Young Award, this goes to our best high school pitcher, and in third place is, in my opinion, the most surprising member of this list who had a great season, Reese Payne from 16U Floyd.
In second place will be 18U Floyd's Jack Bussin.
And winning this award is Lucas Levy, who had an absolutely monster season. The high school season is so short that Lucas Levy, to keep a low ERA in a short season, you really cannot have a bad start, and Lucas Levy did not. He was first in all high school Bears in innings pitched, ERA, and strikeouts. He had a 1.34 ERA and 44 strikeouts, 18 walks. A fantastic season for Lucas Levy on the mound. He was our best high school pitcher. Moving on to our Youth MVP Award. This has been a highly contested award all season long, with the leader shifting back and forth all season. Who ends up winning this award? Probably the hottest award race of all. And in 5th place in this award, a guy we really didn't talk about all that much, but had an absolutely monster season, was 12U Floyd's third baseman, Parker Ells.
4th place will be 4U Dalton's shortstop, Tegan Kreitler.
In 3rd place was our Rookie of the Year, Andrew Willerette.
2nd place, 11U Floyd's very own Brendan Bast.
And winning the award, this guy was an absolute monster from the start of the season to the end of it. It is 14U Dalton's Vince Dalton. I mean, when you're talking about the most valuable player, this guy was the best hitter on the best team in the Bears. He led the team in OPS, RBIs, extra base hits, and home runs. And this guy's a beast. I mean, there's probably no hitter in the Bears that is more feared than Vince Dalton is, because even his foul balls are destroyed. Even his ground balls that he hits, nobody wants to get in front of. So I think Vince Dalton, certainly the best youth hitter in the Bears and deserving of the Youth MVP Award. Our final award, and maybe the most prestigious, is our High School MVP Award. This goes to the best high school player, and getting it started in 3rd place. This is another award that was very highly contested. In 3rd place was Brennan Nickerson, and this is a guy who maybe 4 weeks ago we did not think would even be top 3. He had a little bit of a slow start to the season. Now, when we're talking slow start, it's a Brennan Nickerson slow start, not a normal slow start. He was still an amazing hitter, but maybe not up to Brennan Nickerson's standards, but he completely turned it around to the back half of the season and ends up as our 3rd place MVP award winner.
For 2nd place for the high school MVP will be 16U Floyd's Mac Floyd. I think this is someone that everyone expected at least would be in this race. I called Mac and Brennan 1A and 1B at the start of the season. Had a great defense season, as we've already talked about, and his offensive numbers were just par for Mac Floyd at least. And
Bernie, I'll go ahead and I'll let you announce this last one. Who is our high school MVP?
The high school MVP, we've already talked about him. He was the the Cy Young Award winner from 16U Floyd. It's going to be Lucas Levy. You've already talked about his pitching stats, but on the hitting side, had a 1.316 OPS, which was ranked among the top players in the Bears. 5 home runs, which was first of all high school players, and 33 RBIs, which was by a mile first in high school.
Yeah, once again, the MVP award going to the best player on the best team. 16U Floyd was absolutely our best high school team, a 22-6 record. They were absolutely incredible, and they play a tougher schedule than anybody else in the Bears, and they were still absolutely dominant, and Lucas Levy the most dominant on that team with the bat. This is going to be an exciting team going into the fall, and that does conclude our awards for the spring-summer season. And I got to be honest, Bernie, this is a fun show to make, but I think next week's show is going to be even more fun for me, because we just look back at all the things that happened. There were so many awesome memories made in the spring-summer season, but next week we're going to look ahead and give you some of our thoughts about the fall season. We got a lot of new players joining the Bears, a ton of new players joining the Bears, and some big questions, like, for example, how is this 14U Dalton squad going to compete as a 15U team? Because obviously they'll be looked at in our high school awards. How does Vince Dalton compete with Mac Floyd and Brandon Nixon in the MVP conversation? How does Evan Osborne compete with Lucas Levy and Landon Meyer in the Cy Young conversation? That's going to be a big talking point next week as we give you a full preview of the Bears fall season. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for joining us for the spring-summer season, the return of BBN, our first season back. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to keep it going in the fall. Thank you for joining us, and that's going to do it for this week's episode. We'll talk to y'all next week.